Hello everyone, welcome back. 1 second here, I'll get that going. Use background music. So tonight I want to circle back to the material design in XAML project. You might also notice I changed my background to one of the Get Kraken ones. So if you are interested in this, the store on getkraken.com, there's a whole section of desktop wallpapers. Have at it. I enjoy using them for Teams backgrounds. But for tonight, I was going to work on the material design and XAML project. So specifically going back through and looking at doing the GitHub Actions. So I had started on this a little bit ago to convert them away from Azure DevOps, simply so that all of the pieces of the repository could live together, and got hung up by missing access to a Nuget key. Well, the owner has promoted me to be an admin and also got me a new key to use, so I think we are unblocked and ready to go. So 1 second here, and let me get stuff fired up. And we'll get this guy rolling. For whatever reason, there we go. That's the magic button we want. Okay, so let's come over here. Oh, one more thing. Spokane.net user group. So for people who are interested in it, there will be a .NET user group talk coming up here in the not too distant future. I want to drop this link in chat. Move this over where I can actually see it. Yeah, I get it. Okay, got it. Please stop getting in my way. Myself and my boss, Mark Michaelis, are going to be giving the next talk on C# nullability. So if you aren't familiar with C# nullable reference types, this would be a great introduction as far as seeing what the feature is, how to leverage it, and kind of looking ahead to what may be coming, in future versions of .NET. So if that interests you at all, feel free to sign up. There is also a link on this guy here. So if you're in the Spokane area, there is we are currently planning on doing it in person. COVID restrictions obviously could change that. But if you aren't, or if you just would prefer to attend online, there is a link here as well that you can go through, and that will get you into the Teams call. The one following up after this is likely actually going to be related to my stream last week, where I attempted to abuse as many C# features as I possibly could. I've kind of done a little more work on that repository, so if you want a sneak peek of what might be coming after that, or a little bit of an explanation of some of the horrible things you can abuse the C# language to do, you can check out last week's stream or the recording. You can always catch it on YouTube as well. So with that, let's dive into the material design project. So what we've got here is at least a couple of the repositories in, or a couple of the things in and working. So I've got a couple actions already built in place. So this icon update, just on a nightly process, goes through and checks for new icons from material design icons. So material design icons. This guy here. So it goes out and pulls and looks for new icons, and when there are new ones, it does something like this and just automatically opens up a pull request. Now I've been waiting to close this one because I kind of want to have the closing of this pull request kick off a Nuget release so we can test the next action when we get to that point. And then the other one that I've got in here is just an update to the wiki. Now it's currently blocked and not working, but we may circle back onto that one depending on how fast the other one goes. So the next thing I want to do is get DevOps open, and let's take a look at that one. Let's see here. This guy. So get me in, and I'm gonna just move this over here real quick while I sign in. Let me in, please. Let me in. Pretty please. And two-factor auth because security. Let's see, authenticator, and sign in. Excellent. And that should get me all the way in. Okay, so here we are, and we'll make this a little bit bigger. So the pipeline in question that I want to go through and do is the primary one that does the builds for the material design project. So you can see there have been a few of these things in here, and right now it's also being used as the PR verification build. So we probably want to clean that up a little bit. So let's actually look at what this pipeline does and see if we can convert this guy over to GitHub Actions. So let me go ahead and get the repository open. And we are going to just going to pop open Git Kraken, everybody's favorite. It even wraps Mountain Dew nicely. Though the green on the Kraken tends to get green screen just a little bit. For what it's worth. Okay, so we're going to jump over here, first of all. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so here is the pipeline branch. And let's see here. Interesting. Oh, interesting. I wonder if this is actually triggering on everybody's forks. That's both amazing and terrifying all at the same time. Or it could just be people synchronizing. Okay, so let's go here and take a look. I was just going to check and see if there was... if I had left myself, because I know I had started on this before, but I don't know if I ever... yeah, I don't think I left myself any branches to start from. So we will just start from here. So the pipeline YAML is here, and we're just going to close out everything. That wasn't a clean state, right? Yeah. Clean state, latest on master, we're all good there. So why am I don't see my GitHub Actions in here. That is probably a mistake. So let's go ahead and bring those in, because I would like to have, I mean, at least this one, the one that's working, should be in here. So with GitHub Actions, and I suppose we should probably talk a little bit about what the end result should look like here. So what we are going for is I would like this pipeline to do, at minimum, a few things. So I would like it to do PR verification. So when somebody opens a PR, I want it to compile the code, run the tests, etc., to make sure it's good to go there. I would like it to also fire on a schedule. And as part of that schedule, when it kicks off to fire, if there is an update or something to go through and do, I would like it to automatically push up a new build. I don't quite know how reasonable that latter one is, because one of the things that it's done in the past, or at least the Azure DevOps one has done, is there's this separation between what used to be called build pipelines and release pipelines. And so the build pipelines run continuously and automatically queue up releases. And the releases are what actually push the Nuget package. And what happens right now is that release pipeline in Azure DevOps is set up on a nightly schedule to where it'll just open the gate once a night and let whatever the latest release is out the door, if there's even one there. So if there is a build that has run, that has queued up a release, we want it to go. And what I would really like is if there is, and I don't necessarily know how to do this, but on a commit into master, which is, because master is a protected branch on this repository, that is typically going to be a merged pull request. But on the completion of a pull request or a commit into master, I would like it to automatically do a build and queue up a Nuget package. And ideally, not necessarily kick the build to nuget.org right then and there, simply because I don't want... I tend to do a bunch of reviewing and merging pull requests in batches, and I'd like to batch all of those things together. So I kind of would like a bit of a delay in that. So we're going to play with this, and we're going to see what we can make happen. Okay, so let's just start with creating a new one. I think we can probably just go with... Hang on. Why do I don't have a... I got too many things going on. I got this, I got this, and why are you guys all not in one? There. Okay. So let's go here. Let's go actions. Will be a little bigger. And let's go new workflow action. And we'll just get one going. And I think we will do .NET Desktop, which is probably pretty close. Sure, .NET Desktop. I should probably come up with a better name for it. Okay, so this will get me pretty close. So on a push into the master branch, it's going to trigger, and it's automatically going to do pull requests for me. Great, perfect. It's got this strategy matrix for config, which I don't think I want. It's got this thing here, which I don't think I want. I like the checkout with the shallow depth. This just makes the checkout a lot quicker because it, rather than grabbing all the history, it just grabs whatever the latest is. Installs .NET Core. I think we can get away with just 5x. We might need to actually bring in 3.1 as well. I don't recall. Set up NS build. I don't think we need that. I don't think we need this. Let's just test this because I don't. This is set up for a pattern that I don't think is actually relevant to us. So, because I'm pretty sure we can just .NET build. Oh, is there more than one solution file here? Thought I killed. Oh, there is more than one. Okay, so .NET build. I realize there's just a few things that matched there, but I'm pretty sure this compiles. Now you will note that I am on a preview version of .NET and I'm running Visual Studio 2022 and all that fun jazz, but I don't know that that's going to make any difference. I don't think it will. Yeah, so that compiles just fine. So this might be... So what exactly is this doing? Configure app package. Oh, it's doing... Okay, hang on. We're going to abandon this. Give me the straight .NET Core. There. Okay, this is better. We do need Windows because we are going to be running a WPF project, and WPF runs on Windows. See, this is more akin to what I was picturing. So commit directly into master. Yeah, so we're just gonna put that in. Okay, and then go ahead and pull that guy. And then we will create a new branch. Pipeline. Sounds great. Okay, so let's go here now. And we're going to add existing item. .NET YAML. Okay, so let's just make sure that we have the appropriate stuff running. And there's a few things that we likely need to get set up. And I kind of like, trying to remember if there's any reason. That's all fine and good. That's not quite what I want. I would like, let's just go to the docs. Let's see, let's just pull open Karnak as well. There we go. That is not the docs for GitHub Actions. Oh. GitHub Actions documentation. That sounds more like what I want. Okay. Buildandtest.net. See, that's fine. I don't need a matrix. What I would really like, though, is learn GitHub Actions essential features. This sounds more akin to what I'm looking for. I kind of might just go hit new on that thing again, because I want some of the pieces that were shown in the... I want some of the pieces that are shown in... See, it already failed. Perfect. Though that was kind of expected out the gate. New workflow. So I kind of want to look at this, because this has several features that are nice that I would like. So for example, stuff like this. So that just goes inside of jobs build. So let's take a look here. Jobs build. Boom. Okay. Let's see. So we are going to do. I just no. Solution name. Actually, I've got another project where we can probably just leech a bunch of this from. Just go leech it from XAML test, I think, because I actually like my XAML test workflow. Works rather nicely for me. Okay, so yeah, so we're gonna start with something a little more akin to that, because I like this better. This is more like what I want. More like what I want. Capitalization and all that stuff. We may not end up needing any of these, so we'll comment those out, but we're going to start with configuration. Okay. So there's that. .NET build. .NET build, we know we do need to pass it the solution file name. So let's go and grab... compile the full solution. Paste. Sorry, I'm going to see if I can fix my... for whatever reason, OBS has decided that I don't need my chat window. Let's see if just reloading it makes any difference. Nope. So something has gone all backwards on me. Okay, well, we'll continue on. Okay, so, and I believe what we want, and I'm just going to confirm this real quick. .NET build, help, I believe it's just -C for configuration. Yeah, we'll do that. I tend to be a little more verbose when it comes... and I want to look at my XAML test, because I cannot remember the usage of this. So there's the built-in stuff. There's the secret stuff. But there's pretty much exactly what I want right there. So we're going to do that. Okay, and then we are going to put this solution down here, because that's going to be important. I could pull that up into a variable. I don't know if it matters. Let's do it. I mean, it's not hurting anything, and it's probably better. I don't know if it's likely to change, but if I end up copying and pasting this around anywhere, it might be nice. Okay. Solution. There. Okay, so let's start with that. I should show 2 changes. I only show 1. We're going to go Control-Shift-S. Now I should show 2 changes. Good. So this is something that's important to note, and I've been trying to be conscious of it, is right now if I check in my solution file, it's going to rev it up to version 17, which is Visual Studio 2022. Now, once 2022 releases, goes GA, I'm probably going to commit this change. But right now, I don't want to, because I try to keep this project, even though it's on the latest, latest on a preview is kind of sucky for a lot of people to keep up with. So I try to keep it on latest GA. But I do want this change and this change. So you'll note in Get Kraken, if you just click the little pluses next to it, you can individually select which lines or which changes you want. Inside of Git, that's called chunks usually. You can actually do it from the command line too. It's just a bigger pain than clicky little button. Or you can stage the whole file and then like say, oops, I guess I don't want that one line. But no, we want the whole file. So we'll take the whole thing. So let's see. We're just going to call it whip. And what I'm going to do is go... Actually, you know what? While I'm here, can I do it right from... Can I do it from the branch, or do I have to click here? There is a... Oh, where is the new pull request option? Create branch here. Push pipeline. Oh, because it's not pushed. So yeah, this option. I would like to push my branch and start a pull request. That sounds exactly like what I'd like. There are refs beneath that folder. So I need to rename this, because I've already got something called pipeline. Pipeline work. That'll work. Pun intended. Okay. So that one. So I intentionally did WIP, work in progress, or WIP. Why are you... Hello? Are you like loading all the forks or something? Hello? Let me click the button. Hello? I would like to click. Okay. When in doubt, workaround option. Apparently I need to report a bug. See, I just want to do this. I wonder if it's... There's a large number of forks on this, and I wonder... Yeah. 2.2700 forks. And I wonder if it's trying to load the whole list. That would be bad. That would be very, very bad. Did it finally finish? Why is it not allowing me to submit the PR? That's interesting. I don't know why this button doesn't work. I would like to know why I can't do it. That's not helpful. Okay. Well, regardless, we're going to go back here. Create pull request. Now, so a couple things should happen. perfect. So this guy did trigger. Now I am wondering if yeah, see, this is what I was also wondering. This is going to kick off and do two things. It is going to do the I need to stop saying git kraken. GitHub Actions, as well as the material design one. So that's exciting. Let's see if I can cut out some of that blur on the background. Let's see that one. I think if I do that, cuts out a bunch of it. Just noticing that little, hang on, that right there is bothering me a little bit. I was playing with my chroma key stuff earlier and it clearly broke something. Okay, so it's failing on the restore because I didn't pass a solution. Okay, that's an easy thing to do. See, now I'm really happy that I did a variable. Boom. So let's see, go here, here. Let's see, adding solution to push that up. And I think I can just discard the changes here and reload, because Visual Studio typically won't write that version into the SLN file unless there is a change that needs to go in there. For example, adding a new file. Okay, so that should get me into there. Let's see what this guy does. So this guy is running a .NET build with this build configuration. Okay, so I actually probably want to go through and do something akin to this. This is actually probably a lot closer to what I want, but I also probably want to pick up this. Let's just grab all of those. I think I'm going to actually switch this out for this because it's a little more on parity. Drop that, bring that in. That feels a little nicer. A little bit nicer. Okay. Then the arguments that I was passing before, apparently I was dumb and didn't variabilize out everything. So the other thing that I did do as part of this is I turned on, let's see, so we're going to change it. This is not going to be a perfect one-to-one. We're going to change some of this. Is I did turn on warnings as errors, but only for pipeline builds. This was my compromise because I want the project to be easy for people to contribute to, and warnings as errors is really obnoxious, especially for somebody new who's just trying to get involved. You clone the solution, you make a couple changes, and then you accidentally added a warning because you commented out some code, and now you can't build. That's really annoying. However, I also wanted to, after cleaning up all the warnings in the project, I kind of wanted to maintain that cleanness. So the compromise is, on the pipeline, warnings as errors are turned on. That way, nothing gets in without the warnings getting cleaned up. But if people want to clone and run locally, have at it. I'm not gonna get in the way. Now, I believe rather than that /p, there's a cleaner option. I thought I could do like -p instead. Let's look this up. So ms build parameters, because the .NET build command ultimately shells into ms build for most of what it does. And I would like to yep, all the same stuff I just saw. Yeah, so you can do -p, which is a little bit cleaner, because now I don't have to have weird duplicate syntax. So -p, and it was -p:, right? hyphen p colon value equals okay, so exactly like what I had. So hyphen p, but I don't need to do configuration. That one's already done. Platform, I believe, is a built-in one. Configuration, framework. Is platform not a built-in one on .NET Build? I could have sworn it was. Okay. And this guy here, we're actually going to swap out for the environment variable this time. So env, because I had one and apparently just for whatever reason decided not to use it. Just a little weird. Okay. So we're going to do that maneuver there. We'll have to clean that up. And we will need this build ID. That's going to be another fun one to go and get. So we're going to clean that up, clean that up, clean that up. And then boom. Okay, so as part of doing this, let's come in here and I think what we can actually do is just do a quick find and replace on this guy, because this is going to be $dd and then it's going to be env dot. I think we can just blind replace those to start with. And then this just becomes like that. And this won't be build ID. I need to go look up what the GitHub action equivalent is. So build.build ID is the auto incrementing value in Azure DevOps. So we're about to lose that. So anybody watching that last digit of the versions is going to see them count up. Now this is really only going to show up if you say right click on an assembly and do well, here I could tell you or I could show you. Picture's worth 1,000 words. So for example, if we go into like this guy, bin debug, so if you go right click properties on a DLL and you come over to details, you see these versions here. And there's a lot of versions that happen. Right? We can see the file version, the product version. In this case, what we're going to be setting is the file version. That's going to propagate through because this is the one that actually contains 4 segments to it. Things like Nuget only have 3 that you can work with, which gets to be a little interesting of what to do. So the first 3 digits, the major, the minor, and the revision, those ones we control with variables because we want to be in charge of when we increment all of those. The library follows semantic versioning, which dictates what types of changes should be expected in each type of version change. So major version, breaking change, minor version, backwards compatible change, and revision number is effectively internal bug fix only type changes. So that's what we're doing there. So let's go and look, and actually I might even have it let me see, because I think I may have used it here. env build version, because I do some fancy stuff in here. GitHub run numbers, the magical incantation, I believe that I want. Hey, don't grab everything. Be simple. Okay, so we're gonna come over here. And I think what I would like to do is find that, replace with that, do them all. Okay, so that should get me close on that. I'm gonna cut this out here. Oh, that's just Visual Studio syntax, not understanding what's going on. Okay. So we're gonna go with that for now. Let's check over here and see what else we got. Okay, so that was the first step that it did. Running test. It was taking the configuration in there. I don't know if it matters. We're going to try the test without the configuration because if I think it knows. How would it though? It probably wouldn't. It would probably have to take the default config, and we don't want that. So let's just slap that in. Okay. And then it runs the UI test, which is going to... Oh, and this has blame crash. It's probably a good one. For those people who may not be familiar with it, with the .NET 5 release, the .NET CLI added a couple cool, really cool options to the .NET test command. Blame crash and blame hang, I believe are what they are called. So if you're running into a situation where your unit test runner is just going down because maybe it's a Stack Overflow or an out of memory exception, and in those situations, oftentimes because your runner's just crashing, you don't get a lot of output. This gives you more information about it. There are some limitations if like you're hosting your own build agent. Some of these things are... There's rules around which operating systems these work on, these switches work under. And I don't recall exactly what they are. Like older Ubuntu builds don't work. So if you're on like an 1804 or something, I'm pretty sure they don't work. But very worthwhile and very handy tool if you need them. Okay, so that is going to just pick up... the .NET test may actually pick up both of these. We're going to see. Because this one is using a project filter and the other one's just targeting the solution, I'm pretty sure the solution one picks up both. Okay. So we do want to add this in. So I would like to publish the screenshots, and we can actually go and look at the XAML test repo. Yeah, let's do... this guy here has... Because I use XAML test to test XAML test, which is just awesome. So I can just steal that from myself. Come over here. So after running the tests, we would like to upload screenshots, if any available. I'm going to just separate these out a little bit. Little new line action. Just because that looks cleaner to me. Okay, so that'll be better there. And I believe this is what we want. This Nuget auth token. This is ultimately what's going to give us access to Nuget later. So on the setup of NetCore. Now, this secret here is not the right name. So let's go and look at what that actually is. So we come over here. Settings, I think. And secrets. And... oh, it's an org level secret. So it's going to be that guy. And so it's going to be boop, like that. That should, if all goes well, just work. We'll see. Okay, so that gets me... So this gets me screenshots, but this is almost assuredly the wrong path. What was DevOps using? So do I need to... Yeah, so the one thing you do want is you do want to not have a constant name. Because a constant name will be a problem on a requeue. So I usually just... I think its run number is going to be unique on each pass. If not, we'll just change this for now. But for now, we're just going to do that. And then I need that path, which is going to be this. Let's see. Paste. And I need this guy here. Guess it really doesn't matter which way we do these slashes because it's going to be on a Windows host, but because both work, I'm going to do that. I think. Let's see. Build configurations, material design theme tests. These tests run under a Net5 Windows. We could probably variable out some of this, but for now we're gonna keep it. Keep it as is, I think is fair. And then let's go. Okay, so the next one is building the Nugets. And I do this. This is probably another area that could be cleaned up a little bit. So I really just want a script runner. Oh, I've got one of those. Got one of these. So for GitHub Actions, when you just do a run, you can specify a shell if you want. On Windows, though, it's going to default to PowerShell, which is exactly what we want. So we're gonna bring this in, but we're gonna throw away some of the contents here in a minute. Simply because we want to execute. Let me look. There might be a shorthand when you just want to run a file. Where did I? We'll just go with the old Bing. GitHub Actions. I don't remember if I just do a run and inlined the script call, or if there is there's a shorthand for it. Steps run shell. Let's see. I don't think I need to specify the shell, but apparently I can just path to script and away we go, which is great. So we're just gonna whack all this stuff, paste. Oh, that is not even close to what I want. Boom. And whack. And then I just need the arguments, which was this big ugly mess. Boom. And then we just got to do the replacements here on all of these. So MDIX version is going to look like this. Paste. I'm intentionally skipping the last one because I'm going to do it in one shot. Let's see, colors version. We're gonna change the order. Oh, apparently I missed one. Would have been a pain to track down. Boom. That goes like that. And then Ma apps compatibility pack goes like that. And then we go up here, we grab this guy, and we just blind replace all instances of this with that. Replace all. Okay. So one of the key things to note here is that this is very intentionally setting up a -CI as part of the version number for the Nuget package. What this will do to Nuget is it will cause it to treat this as a preview package. There's a subtle trick that we do on our release pipeline in DevOps to strip this out, which is great. We'll have to think about how to do that because we're going to be killing both pipelines. And I think what I want to do is on the setting of a tag, run this. And we might even do that as a separate GitHub action, because we really don't need to rerun this stuff. Actually, we kind of do. Have to think about it. Okay, so there's all of that, but that should build my NuGets. Why is this? How about build NuGets? Okay. What else you doing, DevOps? Publish. So some of these are useful, some of these aren't. So I think what we are going to do, so we are going to publish the NuGets, and we are going to publish the demo app, but I think I'm going to skip on publishing this guy for now, because this is only there to support the release pipeline, and I'm hoping to kind of refactor how that's done. So let's grab magical incantation for pushing something up. Oh, it's actually the same as our upload screenshots. So we can just do this here. Let's see, upload NuGets, I think. And then we're going to call this NuGets. And then I think I can get away with, just like star NuGet package? I think I can. We're going to try it, because I'm pretty sure this whole thing becomes that and I'm done. We're going to try it. I think that'll work. And then we want to upload the demo app as well, because that is a thing I like. Upload demo app. And this is something we may not, depending on how this works, these publish steps may end up getting relocated. So it's just main demo bin configuration. So how about demo app? And this becomes the path. And build configuration changes to this guy. Yeah, so we either grab our release or our debug folder. That should be everything. Okay. Do this. More cleanup of the GitHub action. Commit push. Let's we should be able to see it kick off again. And hopefully we actually see it do work. Be really cool if it just worked the first time. That'd be cool. I don't think we're going to get that far. While that's running, I do want to check and see, because I don't know. I don't know if James updated. Yeah, so it's been almost a month. I don't think he updated the key in DevOps, which is fine. I don't actually need it there, but it would mean that I could start pushing packages again rather rapidly. So, setup.net, restore dependencies. This is where we failed before. Couple warnings because we're leveraging preview features. Awesome preview features, I might add, but lots of notifications. Getting lots of emails about failed builds on my pull request. What a shock. What a shock. This looks pretty good. It's restoring just about everything. There's the test project. There we go. Themes UI test. Okay, cool. So we got past the restore, which is good. Now on to the build. I'll take it. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I will say, I have been a big fan of GitHub Actions since they've dropped. There is still a little catch up for them to do to get on par with some of the features in Azure DevOps, but they're getting close and they're moving fast. So, for what it's worth, I think they are well worth investing in. So, okay, so we got through the build, we're running the tests, and this is where I was interested in seeing if it picks up the UI tests or not. And I don't know what it's going to do with some of those UI tests. Okay, so I should look and see, what did it discover? Let's see, discovering tests. So it doesn't look like it picked up the UI test directly. Skipping test case with duplicate ID. Interesting. I'll have to go and look at that. I've never noticed that before. Okay, so we had some test failures, and I'm wondering if they're the UI tests. Because we didn't do anything about making sure that the agent or the computer running these tests is set up for them. Typically for the UI tests, I'll do things like set the resolution so I know sort of what I'm getting into in this. We'll take a look. We might need to add some tasks for that. Past. I guess I'm really just kind of looking to see, where did we get to. Boom, boom, boom. Material design themes. I guess I'm looking to see a failed test somewhere. Build failed. I'm a little confused why it's building anything. Oh. Because I didn't specify a config. That's part of the problem. Okay, so let's come. No, we did specify a config. Sorry, what? Where'd it go? So where is the... Let's just hunt total test, because something had to have failed somewhere. I'm a little weirded out by the fact that I want this one. Total test passed. 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 So build failed. VS test target failed. The VS test target failed on the test project. I'm a little confused. Let's go and look here. So material defined WPF test, right? This is the okay. I'm not. Test run 4. Well, I'm okay. I want to look at this. Okay, so this is the first one. So it started a running of the colors WPF tests. Great. Net 462, or I'm sorry, 472. Okay. That passed. Or more accurately, didn't do anything, which is interesting. This guy then ran discovered a bunch of tests, did more tests. This is interesting that this didn't do anything. That kind of concerns me. Sorry, so let's just confirm. So building solution configuration, release any CPU. That is what we expect. And this makes good sense to me. So then we pick up and we run. Oh, hang on. Maybe I'm just misreading this. Test run 4. This is also 472. Oh, this is colors. This is themes. Okay. This is colors, net 5. Okay. This is themes, net core 3.1. And then this is themes 5.0. Hold on. Are we running our tests? Okay, so this, the themes one, we are doing 3. Are we not doing that on colors? Ah, we aren't. Okay, so that's almost assuredly a mistake. I don't expect to ever have differences, but it is well worth the test. So let's do this. Okay, the part that's not clear to me is what exactly failed here. So failed. Oh, we probably don't mean to do these things. Okay, so so a couple things we probably want to clean up too. These guys, when I copied and pasted them, they have the if always, which means always do it. The default for any of these individual actions is only run if the previous one succeeded. And if something failed, we probably want to stop. We don't need to. The only reason the screenshots are set to always is because these are how we actually get our test data back out of it. Okay, let's look real quick because DevOps, I intentionally separated these out, and I'm wondering if there was a reason I did that. Because these are both running .NET Test. They're both running configuration. They've got a slightly different project filter on them. I'm wondering if it's picking up something extra. Let me try running this locally. Actually, why am I doing that? Here's what we can do. We can just go to the top of the test one, and we can just copy the command that got executed. Now, it's not a perfect simulation because my system is not in the exact state that this is. But hey, if something's failing on the pipeline, copy the big blue line, come over here, paste it, run it. And then we'll see if we get any more information out of it here. Oh, so I did have that issue because I didn't rebuild. And I did pass -- no build to it. So they're okay. That's fair. That is fair. Boom. I do want to check into that warning too, because I might want to clean that up. All right, there is that culture issue one. So that is one of the subtle problems. Locally, we've got some tests that don't pass because they assume an invariant culture, and I have not gone through and cleaned those up yet. They pass on the pipeline because the pipeline is going to be running in a invariant culture, but not guaranteed for everything else. Okay, so that's not a great test. I am, real quick, while we're in here, let's just go take a quick look at why this is being flagged as, sorry, what? Get, really? What is going on? Let's see. Stack bar message queue. Was it item tests or snack bar message queue test? Get snack bar message simple. I have a sinking suspicion I know what it is. Boom. Not quite what I thought it was, but I'm guessing that. Yeah, so this is only used in one place. Let me just confirm that it's not, because this will be a separate execution. Yeah, that's very simple. I wonder why are we using, I don't know why we're using class data here. This is actually a little, I think I'm going to change this up too while I'm in here. While I'm in here, inline data, just drop these two things in. Class data is great, but when possible to use inline data is by far my preference. Because it makes a lot of these things a lot easier to see. Boom. Like that. Like that. There, that should clean that up. Let's see here. So, adding TFM. So TFM is just short for Target Framework Moniker. For anybody wondering, fixing nor test due to duplicate data. Let's change up the run tests to use the same project filter. Let me just confirm that in fact works. So if rather than passing this, I pass that. Project file does not exist. That is really, really unfortunate. I guess I don't know what's actually causing the failure. So let's grab this guy and put him on there too. And we're going to make you detailed because I would like to get a little more verbosity out of that. And then we'll try this again because we should have enough change to at least give us more information. Don't always upload. More logging on tests. Push. So while that's running, let's think about how we want to actually get this release going. So I would like I guess what we can do is we can just put this guy here on a schedule. What I really want is a schedule, but only when there's been changes since the last run. I wonder if there's a way to do that. That's what I'd like to learn about. So while you're running, we're gonna let that open. We're gonna do GitHub Actions. How about if I do nightly release? I mean, that's really... Look at that. Somebody's already probably built it for me. Deploy a nightly release to a GitHub release. Supports deleting old nightlies and automatically inserting a shortened date. This is good-ish. So this, see, this is the thing. When you do a schedule with a cron, it runs. There's not a... There's not a lot of extra bits here. Like, this is cool, and I like this idea. This just isn't what I want here. Latest branch releases. This sounds like somebody who might... let's see. Yes. No, requires some action, even if scripted. Is this that same nightly release? That's great. But how did you do it? Let's go and look. That is not what did this. History. That's not it. Log some stuff. It's also not what I want. So we went from create an issue. Okay, so that is not quite what I want. Still not. GitHub Actions. By automatically uploading, generate pre-releases, and so on. Okay, this sounds promising. Automatic releases. When tags are pushed to the repository. So this is reliant on a tag. Oh, this isn't. This is reliant on a push, which is effectively a merge. See, all of these things are fine, and I don't mind using somebody's task, but the issue I have is I want this to go to Nuget nightly. How about let's change this. Let's be there. Set up Nuget for use with actions. Blah 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 blah. This is just, that's not what I want. That is not what I want. Actions. Looked at that. Pushing Nuget package from GitHub to Nuget.org and other sources. Yeah. Publish Nuget package action. That's great. I'm almost wondering if I do a separate pipeline and do something crazy with scripting. So one of the big limitations with GitHub Actions is they don't daisy chain. So you cannot have a GitHub action that performs an action that triggers another action. So even if you have an action that's set to trigger on something, like say the creation of a tag, if you have another action that creates a tag, it's not going to trigger the action. So that is a small limitation, but I'm wondering if I do something fancy where so let me think this through. I'm wondering about making an action that fires on a nightly process. It then checks the latest commit on master and the commit hash of some predefined tag, like we can call the tag latest. And if they match, early exit, no problem, everyone's happy. If they don't match, it moves that tag to the latest commit and then publishes out. I'm wondering about doing something like that so that I have a nice trigger for actually doing it. Or actually, maybe the correct way to phrase that is, if they don't match, do all the other stuff. And if that's and because it's do all the other stuff, I think I put it in the same pipeline. Man, I just hate having to write that myself. Ugh. Ugh. How about GitHub Actions? Check for changes. Is there a... See, here's the other beautiful part. GitHub Actions has a massive marketplace. And so quite often, you can find somebody who's already written the code for you. See, this is nice, but this isn't quite what I want. What I want to know... Yeah, I don't want to know about dirty. What I want to know is GitHub Actions, compare tag and branch. That would be... Yeah, so I might just write the CLI commands for it. It's not that hard. Might be worth doing. Okay. First of all, we have to figure out why we're failing. So failed on test again. So all I know for certain is that we failed. So we got a lot more fails than last time. Error and continue. Okay, that's exciting. Done executing task. Test run aborted. So this is more interesting. Ha. So it is the absence of 3.1 that is breaking it. Okay. Perfect. So we can do this. So we just need this guy in here as well. Because we need all the thingies. Because we're going to target 2 TFMs, we need to include those. So we're going to do that. I'm going to wrap this in quotes. Just it makes the thing look a little prettier. And then we're going to grab that. Don't need that anymore. So that should clean that up. That should clean that up. That should let the test run go. So the other thing... Oh, we didn't do it here. Interesting. Or I should say I didn't do it here. One of the things that I've done on XAML test, and I was kind of hoping to not do it, is it very intentionally installs this screen resolution tool from Chocolatey and then changes the screen resolution just so that all of the UI tests go into it with some concept of what the resolution is going to be. The big problem here, this is slow. I don't know why it is so slow, but it's slow. Okay, so let's see. Include netcore 3.1. We need both. Okay, so we kick this off. Okay, so I'm thinking while that's going, maybe we write a little PowerShell to try and do the tag comparison bits. I'm thinking that's what we're going to do. So I'm thinking because we don't use tags much. We largely use them. Okay, so GitHub issues, pull requests, tags. So we mostly use tags for this V stuff, right? And I'm thinking what I do is I do something like this. Create tag here, latest. So for reference, this is a local tag. This tag has not been pushed up yet, so we can powwow with this thing locally without doing weird stuff. So let's do this. get tag, and then I want to get commit. One of the AS or U, the command creates a tag option and requires a tag message. So AS or U. What is AS and U? S, annotate, don't care. U, no. What I really want, what I really would like is to view the tag. Let's do this. Let's get you over so I can actually see you running, because you should be running now. Great. How about get view commit hash? See this? I really want to see this. Verify. To turn arbitrary extended object reference into SHA-1, get rev parse. Of course, the old rev parse command. How silly of me. Okay, so let's just do that. Get rev parse latest. Okay, so that's a pretty simple command. And then if I do get rev parse master, that's also another command. Perfect. That's all I want, right? So we are going to go through and do a little bit. So we're going to add a task. So task, boom, check for changes. Boom, task run. We're going to do this. Okay, so what we would like to do, none of you are what I want. Where's the one I actually want? This guy, because you do, this is what so I'm only stealing this bit of code because this bit of code has the setting of variables. So in my other library, one of the things that I do is I use this code to sorry, I'm trying to remember my syntax. 1, 2. I use this code to go through and determine what the version number is that should be set here. So it does a bunch of stuff. I don't care about any of that. What I would like to do is write a little bit of PowerShell. Let's just open up VS Code, I think. And just check where I'm at there. Kind of just like a new. Let me just move myself into a different repo real quick. Oh, there, we'll just powwow here. Yes, I trust it. Okay, so new file, and we'll call it food.ps1 because we just want to, I just want to test this. Okay, so what I'd like to do is latest hash gets, and then get rev parse latest master hash get rev parse, not rev parse, rev parse master. So that will get me both of my hashes. And then all I simply want to do is is there an early exit that I can do in GitHub Actions? That would be, I'd like to terminate early without failure, and I don't want to have to slap if on everything. So, early exit. How to force exit a Git action step. Yeah, That sounds like what I want. Run, exit with success. I want to know a command I should write here. Failure, failure. Oh, so I could do that. Grumble, 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 grumble. So I give it an ID. Step outputs. So that would also work as well. I think this was meant to say if success because these two don't quite line up to each other. Oh, I guess this is S2's conclusion. Okay, sure. Steps, early exit, conclusion. Needs. Let's see. So if needs check output status. Where is needs coming into play here? Because I see check outputs status. This makes sense here. Oh, I see. It's a keyword. Needs check. Got it. So needs. So this needs maps to here. This goes to here. So this needs forces dependency ordering. So work needs check to finish, and once check finishes, then it can check its output and go. Sure, I guess. Okay, so that's fine. Feels like I'm going to be writing a bunch of stuff. Ooh, it finished. It finished. It finished. It finished. So apparently was able to upload 27,000 bytes in 0 seconds. And the fact that this thing... Hold on. UI test. Did you actually run the UI test project? Ba-bum, boy. Did a lot of stuff. So how about test result? What was it? Wasn't that the end of it? Let's go to the end. End of this guy. Total tests. Okay, 6, 6, 6. Those are the 3 TFMs. 289, 289, 289. The other 3 TFMs. 98. So it did run all of the UI tests. Huzzah! Booyah! Nice, nice, nice. Okay, I do want to just confirm really quick that 98 is the expected number of tests. I'll just pop my Test Explorer open and just gotta find the right bar. UI test is 98. What a shocker. Okay, cool. Okay, so that did run all the tests. They all passed. That's pretty cool. So that makes me happy. Let's go and take a look at the artifacts. There shouldn't be much. So there's demo app. Which looks like it contains exactly what I would expect. It could, because we do build 2 versions of the demo app, one for framework, one for core. And for anyone who cares, I do intend to continue supporting .NET framework as long as it is a supported framework by Microsoft. So you don't need to rush to convert off of it if you don't want to. But there will be a point where once it reaches end of life in the very distant future that I can't support something that falls off of end of life for Microsoft. So, for what it's worth. And typically by that point, most people have moved off of it and aren't doing new development on it anyway. Okay, so there's all of that, which is great. It seems a little big for our package, but I don't know how big it is normally. So let me just look what all is in here. Icon. Oh, it's because all the fonts. That's what's doing it. Got it. Sweet. Okay, so that is everything. And then screenshots, what came down there. Why were there screenshots on a successful run? Dialog host tests. Overlay covers content. Okay. Maybe I'm just being dense, but I don't see it. So let's go and look at that, because if that guy is, let's see, overlay cover. Oh, I saw it. Covers content, spelling counts. So this guy here, are you just always creating a... There's the recorder. Oh, there is no recorder dot success. So it is always going to produce that. So we will fix that as well, because we don't need it. We don't need it going through and generating screenshots unless there are, in fact, screenshots to be generated. So we'll turn that off too. So that's an easy fix. So let's come in here. So what do we got? So we don't want to generate that. Oh, I pasted this into the Azure Pipelines one. That is not what we want. Okay, so let's get... so don't, how about properly mark test as success. Okay, so we'll do that. Okay, so let's consider how we would want to publish nightly Nugets. Because ultimately the goal here is to publish Nugets. And I would like to be able to see this thing go. Okay, so you are completely in the wrong file. So you come out, you come over here. We're going to go up to here. I think we can go as early as this, because there is very little reason that if that doesn't work. So let's go here. We're going to start with that. Let's see. Task. How about name? And I am thinking what we saw. Wasn't it the... I think it was just a 2-line indent. Can't recall now. Let me go and double check. Yeah, I can close that now. This guy here, yeah, 2-line. Only indent by 2. So you here. Cool. 2-line indent. Okay, so on. So how about if I'm going to do it over here so I get some better syntax highlighting. So if latest hash equal master hash, and for now we're just going to write host are the same. Else write host they are different. So we will just boom, they are different. Okay. What we're going to do is we are going to take the latest tag and we are going to move it to right there. Come on. Whoop. Boom. Oh, come on. You're going to make me... Fine. I will just delete you. Boom. Problem solved. And then I will create tag. Create tag here. Latest. Boom. And then if I rerun, I should see the other side of that. They are the same. Okay, perfect. That is what we are looking for. So now the only question is, I think we give this guy an ID. ID has changes. I think that's what we're going for. And yeah, so we are going to just bring this guy in and boom, do that. And I think what we are going to do instead is, do I just write, I'm kind of tempted to just do something like this, where I go with has needs publish, right? So we just go there, and this becomes NEQ. And then instead of write host, what we do is we grab the, we grab this. Yeah. So this becomes a little weird looking, but this becomes needs publish, value gets true. Hang on, is that right? Let me look. So let's see, Nuget version gets yes, because you write it out to the file and you append it, and those guys get picked up. Got it. Okay, so that is all fine. We're going to change the value of need publish to true, which means we don't need an ID because we're not going to reference this that way. We're just going to put if conditions on there. Trying to decide because should run. I'm just trying to decide because it's a little wasteful. You know what? Whatever. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do it. Okay, so this thing should probably also check the triggers. So you can get access to what the GitHub action trigger was. GitHub action trigger. Let's see, yeah. So you can get, so there's all kinds of things that you can use to trigger with, but we want to get that in a variable, environment variables. Encrypted secrets, environments. Aha. The name of the workflow. Let's see, GitHub action. It's the name of the webhook event. That's not what we want. The branch or tag that triggered the workflow. So this is good for that. What I kind of want to know though is if it, I'm guessing GitHub ref will be null in the case of a scheduled trigger. We can probably check that because this guy over here fires on a schedule. And usually what you can do is come in here and look at the setup job and look at the stuffies in here. That's all fine, but I thought I could view the environment variables in here somewhere. Getting get information. Doing stuff. I could have sworn one of these things actually showed me all the environment variables that were defined and what they were defined to. Because I suspect on that trigger there won't be one. Because you'll note here that we're actually hunting for tags that start with V in XAML test, which is my kind of pre-canned way of pulling out the tag version. So if I make a tag on it with a particular one, it's there. Let's keep looking. Workflow syntax. There's where is the context? Yes. GitHub context. So what is on here? Okay, GitHub action pass, base ref, GitHub event. That's not what I want. Blah, blah, blah. Ref's head or ref's tag. What I really want to look at is what the, and that, so ref would probably work. I'm just worried that in the case of a scheduled trigger, it would just give me the branch name. Container. Steps context. Because I could just pull this into a separate nightly release. That would be a thing we could do. That is a thing we could do. I was just thinking that I don't want to duplicate all of my steps and whatnot for running this. And that is one of the things. Have GitHub Actions template? Ooh. Ooh. You can now create, making it easier to promote best practices. Oh. Yes. This is what I want. Okay. Okay, this will simplify this. Because if I can make a workflow template, the metadata must have the same as workflow, but instead of a YAML, it must be appended with properties.json. Of course it would. Ha. That is not quite what I wanted. Boy, that is so close. So close, because I want to take a lot of my jobs and steps out into a template, but I want to mix and match. Ay. Let's see, storing secrets, using build, using labels to route workflows. That's not what I want. Using environments. See environments. Let's take a look at environments. Maybe we can solve this a different way. Protection rules and secrets. I'm really interested in I don't want to wait time. So deployment branches, creating an environment, deleting an environment. Man, it feels like I'm so close to what I want. I just don't want to give it up yet. Weekday job, environment day of the week. Okay, this is kind of what I want. But day of the week is always Monday. Name of the workflow, job. This is not quite getting me where I want to be. This is definitely not getting me where I want to be. I want to know. I want to know how I was triggered. I mean, so the workaround for this is simple. Copy and paste the actions YAML. Change what I want to change in each of them and move on. That is a thing. Composite actions. This sounds more like what I want. Okay, so action.xaml greets someone, takes some inputs, has some outputs, does some stuff with some steps. Great. It has a using composite. So what does composite do? Great. I approve of this. I'm clearly missing where composite gets used. In hello world, create a new file called action.yaml. For more information on this syntax, runs for composite action. Runs using composite, steps run. So runs using configures the path to the composite action used to execute the code. Okay. I'm shell ID working directory uses major version of release checkout. This kind of looks like what I want. I want to do this kind of thing. I'm missing something obvious here. So what I'm missing is who references this or how this gets pulled in. So git tag description of this release v1 push the tags. I am missing how this works. With haha, this is what okay. So uses with who to greet Mona the Octocat. Excellent. This is what I want. This is exactly what I want. Okay. We would like a composite action. And so I would like to move all of the common stuff that I would want into a composite action. This notwithstanding. Right? Because ultimately what is important for me, I don't even know if building NuGets and uploading NuGets should be inside the composite. But building and uploading screenshots, so all of this, sans that, should go into my composite action. Okay, here we go. So let's go here. Let's do config. No, not config. GitHub. And what do we call this guy? We call him build.yaml. How about common build.yaml? I don't know what to call this. Close enough. Okay, so solution items, add existing item. Okay, GitHub, workflows, common build. Boom. Okay, so we need to change up this syntax to match this. So it needs a name, a description, inputs, and outputs. That's the opener. So all of this goes away. Name. How about common build, description, build, and test the solution. Okay, inputs. I think, how did they use their variables? Who to greet. how do I reference this? So this just changes. So I think what we want to do is some of the environment variables probably need to come back. Some of these need to be environment variables. Some of these need to be inputs. So let's look at this. Actually, which ones would I want to pass in? I think I would want to keep all of you. I think I would want to keep all of you. So we're gonna move you out for now because I don't care about that. I think we're gonna keep all of you for now. Get rid of you. Okay. I don't know as if there are outputs that we need, but it's nice to know we have them. I don't know if there are inputs. Here, let's just do outputs, inputs. I'll have both of those. And then, let's see, what do we got over here? We've got runs. Let's see, runs. And then using composite. Using composite. And then underneath that, I think was steps, right? So yes, steps go at the same level as using composite. So we'll just back that guy up. No, I can't see what I'm doing. Got the way. Bad. Love Karnak. Sometimes it can be a little annoying. Okay, so there's that. That goes like that. The upload and the build probably don't want on here, and I probably don't want build Nugets, but I think I want that much. So you go here, you go here. All of you can stay as... Maybe I should make those inputs, because inputs can have defaults. No, I don't know if it... grumble. I don't know what makes sense. We're going to leave it as that for now. And, okay, so then we come over here, and we want to do this. So the jobs, and ours is called build. I almost want to break that apart, but whatever. So build runs on, we got that. Don't really care about a name, we've already got one. Steps, great. We don't need uses checkout anymore because that's going to go into the other one. Boom. Let's see, we shouldn't need the environment variables, those go away. We shouldn't need the check for changes, that goes away. Actually, the common variables need publish, that goes away. And then this guy here. So I shouldn't need any of these steps up through here. Those all go away and instead get replaced with a now that was under, does it need to be under an actions? In the Hello World composite action repository, create a new file called actions.yaml. Okay, so that's just at the root. This is Hello World composite action. So how did it know the name was Hello World composite action? Besides the fact that that was the name of the copy the workflow code into... Oh, these are in separate repositories. Is there a way to use composite action from the same repository? So what would the structure be? So this is picking up name of file from this guy. And this was v1. So this is tag. Okay, so we want GitHub Actions, composite action in the same repository. Can we do this? You want to have two actions inside there? Somebody clearly doesn't like it. Oh, create reusable actions. I agree with this. Supported properties, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. File copies. Other file names. Oh, so it has to be called action.yaml. Okay. They should be located in separate directories. Okay, so action1, action.yaml, action2, action.yaml, main.yaml. Let's see. .action1. Got it. So these need to live. Okay. Okay. So we are going to try and cheat a little bit then. Okay. So GitHub. How about folder? We'll call it common build. And then we need to take. We need to go into workflows. We need to take you out. Put you here. Just going to break this. So we are going to take, remove you, and then re-add you using the new path. GitHub common build. We are going to rename you to action.yaml because that is the magical incantation. Boom, boom. Okay. So that gets me to there, and then blah 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 blah. So then this guy here becomes uses folder name, but this appears to be based from the root. I want to nest it slightly different. So I want to do .github / common build. Boom, boom, like that. That should be all that needs. This is not going to work here. I do wonder if... So I don't know how it's going to handle this environment variable since they're inside of here. Same with this. I have no idea how this is going to work. Maybe I should pass them as inputs and set the environment variables up here. That's probably cleaner. Okay, so let's do that. Action.yaml. So you are going to come out. You are going to live here. Boom, boom, boom. And then this will end up having those blocks, but these inputs need to look like the docs, which were blah, 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 up here. name, description, required, default. So we are going to do all of these things. And actually, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do some fanciness. We're going to go like this. So we're going to come over here. We're going to grab this. Okay. So we are going to do paste. And inside of this selection, we are going to do a find. And let's go bigger. So enable regex modes. Start of string, white space, any number of characters. Actually, screw it, we'll get rid of this for now. And then we are going to replace with empty string, so that'll strip that down. And then ultimately, I just want the name, so I want from start of screen, any number of characters. Actually, I want all of the characters that are not a colon. Capture any number of them. Or actually, maybe what we do is we do capture any character that's not a colon to the end of the string. Actually, let's just do the colon there. Whack those. Okay. That gets me pretty close. And then I'm going to go and grab this guy here. So now I want to take each of those. Screw it, I could probably do this pretty easy at this point. So now each of you are going to be two spaced in. We are going to go do, what is it, alt, ding, 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 ding. You get a colon, and then down arrow, space, space, description, colon, down arrow, required true, required true. I'm not going to put a default on them. That sounds easy enough. Grab all of you, cut, and then we can come back over to Visual Studio, and my action YAML, we will just go boop, done. The solution file, target platform, build configuration, the 3-part version for the MDIX colors library, 3-part version for the MA apps. Just drop MDIX right in there. Library, the 3-part version for the core library. Just capitalize that. Outputs, we're going to get rid of outputs since I don't know if it matters. Okay, so that gets me to there. Property width is not allowed. I don't know why you think that. Okay, so now down here, I think all of the ENVs just need to be replaced. So yeah, so I think what we need to do here is replace with ENV dot with, is it input or inputs? Inputs, plural. So we'll go with inputs dot replace all. And clearly I did that wrong, so try again. Okay, that gets me pretty close. Gets me pretty close. Okay, so there's that, there's that, there's that. Now I need to specify all of those variables. We're gonna undo, 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 and undo. Okay, and then we pass those in by name colon value. So colon, and this is going to be and actually, you know what we could do? So boom. Let's see. Start end of string and replace with $1, which should be the match, colon $env dot $1 space day. I think is what I want. 0. There, that's what I want. Don't need the extra new line there. Boom. So come back over here. Boom. And 2, 1, 2. That gets me to there. So now the environment variable is declared at the root. They get passed into a shared action. This thing picks up the shared action, which I assume is going to be based on directory. And away we go. So let's give that a try. So let's see, there. Don't care about that, don't care about that. So attempting to use composite action. Composite. Okay. And let's see how that goes, because it is close to my quitting time. But I'd like to get this closer because I don't want to get blocked repeatedly. Okay, so we failed immediately. Excellent. I was worried it was going to be simple. Workflow is not valid. Expected format in the form org repo /path at ref actual input string was not in the correct format. So we can do this. So if that's the format that you want it in, I wonder if just doing this is good enough, because the example here was /, and I wonder if it's looking for that. Let's just try and see if that makes it happy. I wonder if the error message is just slightly misleading when it doesn't know what it's getting. Attempting with relative path. Boom, push. Let's see if it's a little happier on that. Actions. Oh. Okay, so it was the /. Cannot find or Docker file under. Didn't I name it action dot? Oh, did I name it Y? Oh, hold on. Action.yaml. Did I not commit it or something? Common build action. So hang on. So I'm gonna just do this real quick and go with cd d:/dev /paste. There's a typo somewhere. Oh, hang on, that's org. I don't need it doubled over. Okay, so Ba, 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 ba. I probably need to pull out, yeah, run actions checkout before running your local action. Okay, that is, the error message is exactly correct. So what we need to do here is, this needs to not be in here. That's fine. We pull that out. This guy needs to be at this level, because until we do the checkout, it can't find the YAML file for the action, which kind of makes sense. So that comes in, do checkout first. Okay, let's do that, away we go. Let's see what that leaves me with. Okay. Set up job. Hey. Okay, so that's, I think, progress. Well, it ran the checkout and then it went to do this. So error. Required property is missing shell. Required property is missing shell. Okay, so Pat is a problem. Okay, so the template is not valid, so it's unhappy. So required missing property shell. So let's go back here. Shell bash. Let's see. GitHub Actions shell. I think it's just PWSH for the shell property. I think it's just PWSH. I'm gonna just go with that and see what happens. Oh, this is not going to be bueno in here either. Is it? So build action, unexpected value if. That is going to be a problem. Got it. Huh. These are not nearly as cool as I was hoping they were going to be. Is it worth continuing down this path? I think I abandon it at this point. I don't think it is worth it. Let me just confirm what I'm thinking for a moment. I think we abandon it. I don't know. I don't think it is worth it at all. Yeah, that's disappointing. That is disappointing. Okay, so let's abandon this. Attempting to use composite action. So we are going to reset pipeline. So let's do stash, working stuff, reset hard, force push over the top, and then pop working copy. Okay. Unstage local. Okay, so that gets me back to here. Right? You should be we're going to close and reopen the solution. Don't save that just because I want to keep it. Okay, so but we're back to the original problem of wanting to publish. And I think what we do is we just schedule a nightly build. Yeah, I think that's what we do is we schedule a nightly build. And we just do that. Because I think what will happen is this will drop off. Because we don't actually need this. We don't actually need this either now. We rename this file to pull request verification. Okay, let's do that. That's okay. This is starting to feel a little better. This might be okay. So copy paste, and we name you PR verification. Okay, and then we come over here. We're gonna add existing item, GitHub workflows, PR verification. Great, save. Okay, and so we are going to change you up. Just you. I don't think version matters here, so we can drop all of that. That doesn't matter, that doesn't matter. So we'll intentionally not specify this on version. Okay. Tests, upload screenshot always, get rid of all the commented code. Okay. We then come over here. I'm just leaving the .NET one in for the moment because, and here's what we're going to do. We're going to comment out all its triggers. I wonder if it's cool with that. Yeah, well, we're going to end up deleting it here in a minute anyway. It won't matter. So this guy we'll make a copy of, and we will call you nightly release. Ba-ba-bum. Go back over here, solution items, add, existing item, GitHub Actions workflow, nightly release. Okay. We are going to remove .NET from you. Well, we'll do that in a minute. Okay. So this guy here, I want to trigger on a couple conditions. Ba-ba-bum. So we want to trigger on... Which projects did I do scheduled releases on? Oh, the material design ones. Oh, which we've already got here. Right, so the other one is workflow dispatch means manual trigger. So we are going to allow manual trigger and nightly release. Let's do this at like, I can never remember my cron parsing. Because I would like it to trigger at like maybe a couple hours from now, which this is like 5 a.m. It's 6 a.m. UTC right now. So let's go like 9 a.m. UTC. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll do that. That's not a thing anymore. Okay, so this is the one that's going to end up with a check. So we are going to end up duplicating a little bit of this. But that's okay. That is okay. So this one legitimately needs these. Then we're going to do name, publish, Nuget.org. Okay, and so we will need to go get that stuff here in a moment. That goes like that. That goes like that. Ba-ba-bum. Da-da-da. Everyone's happy. Everyone's happy. Everyone's happy there. This is always going to be CI stuff. We'll deal with the non-CI here in a minute. Let's go look at here for the Nuget publish. There's the pack. Oh, event name. That's what I was looking for this whole time. Okay, so we're going to do this. Get rid of that name. We are not going to have an if condition here per se. Kind of will. We are going to put that other little guy in there in a moment. But what we do want to do is get rid of all of this jazz. Well, let's do this. Grab everything from the root. This is going to be pat. That goes like that. That goes like that. This is the wrong trigger, but we are going to allow this. So here's what we're going to do. I don't want to actually publish to Nuget.org yet, but I want to confirm this much works. Okay, so now we're going to delete .NET out of here, remove, and we are going to come up here to workflows, whack .NET. Okay, let's see. So I want that. I want the removal of .NET staged, and I want the addition of both of those lines staged. Why does it not show a deletion here? Oh, because it's a... How do I properly... There is a show all files thingy-mabobber. Where was that? View all files here. So I want to go GitHub workflow. Can I not just delete you? I really would like to delete you. Can I not execute a delete from inside of a... Oy vey. Oy vey. Oy vey. Okay. Git rm.net.yaml. Oh, it's because it's showing as a rename. That's why. Okay. Okay, so it is there. That's why I'm not seeing it. Because this is showing as a rename from point A to point B. Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay, so adding nightly release action. Boom, boom. And more importantly, this one will... So what I should see is... Go back out here. I should see the one PR verification trigger. Oh, we should rename this. I should rename those because now I've got two that are named .NET. So nightly release. How about pull request verification? Boom. Let's see. Boom. Boom. Properly naming actions. Push Boom, 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 boom. Now we go back here. Refresh. Okay, so we got pull request verification. And why do I not see it in here? Probably because it hasn't run yet, but how do I schedule one that doesn't exist? How do I schedule one that doesn't exist? Let's turn it on then. We're going to do this simply because I need it to run once. As PR. Boom, boom. So that will trigger it. Should trigger both of them. Okay. There. Now we've got a bunch of stuff. And they are all running all at the same time. Okay, so nightly release is the one that I am interested in keeping track of. Okay, so this is what I would like to see run. You know, we could probably, okay, in the interest of testing this, we could probably like cut a few corners. And we can turn off pull request. So we can make this go a little bit faster now. Because ultimately that is the end goal, is to make this thing run. So it is going. And there aren't necessarily unlimited build minutes on GitHub Actions either, just for anyone who cares. Now, unless you're doing something horrid like crypto mining, you should be more than fine. I don't remember what it is. It's quite generous. But I don't believe we will be anywhere close to that, which is part of why I want this thing on a nightly release, because if I can, anything I can do to speed this thing up is going to go a long way. I think now that I'm fairly confident in my PR bit, I'd like to turn off the branch protection. AppVer. We disabled this, didn't we? Just gonna move that over here real quick. And we're gonna go do that. I don't know why we still have this. What I'm really looking for is the branch protection. Choose which status checks. I would like to turn off the DevOps integration. I just don't remember where that button is. Yeah, so where is the integration? Ahaha, Azure Pipelines. Is this the only way to turn it off? I'd like to leave the app, but I'd like to turn off the check. Oh, maybe that's something I do over on the... I might have to do that on the other side. Okay. So, I would like to try to cut down that time a little bit, though I think most of that is probably the UI testing. Like it's fast, but there's still time that goes into all of this. What were the times on everything? Yeah, so of that 5.5 minutes, 3 of it was in tests, and 50 seconds were just getting the right version of .NET installed and restore dependencies. So yeah, so speeding up the test makes a big difference. Okay, so where are we? Okay, so that. This is the one that I'm most interested in verifying. And then once this goes, I think we just tack in and test the Nuget push, because this should be off now for pull request. It'll be on workflow dispatch. We're going to turn that off in the interest of speed. And then I think we go and turn on the publish to nuget.org. We turn off the if condition. We go to here, and it should just work. Okay. So let's do that. Enabling nuget.org push. So I think what I'm going to do is let this thing, because if I can get this thing pushing, I'm going to call it a night. Because at least then I've unblocked the fact that we haven't published a Nuget package in a month. Now it's going to be over publishing because that cron job trigger. So I might go and change that cron job at some point to either slow it down, or I want to get that tag stuff put in. But that can be a different night. Okay, so that looks reasonable. That looks reasonable. Okay, so that's all good. So we are going to do none of that stuff. Actions. I should have pull request verification is the only one running, but I should be able to come over here. Why do I not see the workflow dispatch? Like this one here, I should have. Do I have to merge this first before I get it? I might need to. I might need to. Let's go here and see if I can turn off DevOps pipelines. So I think if I go here, and I think if I go here, and I settings disable, I think that will be good enough. And because I'm an admin, I can bypass some of these checks, but we'll let this one finish. No, I think we'll just squash merge. Okay. Now I should have run workflow. Yeah. Basically, it needs to be on the master branch in order to trigger that. Okay. So workflow dispatch triggered. So this nightly release should kick off. And then let's see where it gets me. I do realize that I did leave the tests off on this, and I'm kind of okay with that for the moment. At some point, I do want to put those back in, but it will significantly cut down on build minutes. It should be fairly difficult to get into a situation where I should have PR verification run on pushes into master as well. So the issue with PR verification is it's run once when the PR is opened. And if I just assume that the tests still pass after merge, that's usually fine as long as things merge rapidly, which will not always be the case. So I should not make that assumption. I should have it run PR verification on the branch post merge as well. So take me back to master. Reset local. Pop. And then unstage. Don't want that. And yeah, go ahead and reload. I know I changed it out on you. But this guy here, I also want on. Oh, what is the other pattern? I want it on merge. Is it on branch? So when you spell branch correctly, what was it? What was it? Using a workflow, run history, rerunning, canceling a workflow, reviewing deployments. Deleting a workflow run. Creating actions. What I really would like to do. Workflow syntax. That's what I want. On push branches. That's what I want. On push branches master. That was what it was. So I do want that, so that triggers. Okay. Publish to nuget.org. Forbidden. The specified API key is invalid or does not have permission to access the specified package. I need to check on. Oh boy, I spammed myself, didn't I? I need to check on what that key is. So I was given an updated key. Let's see. I've added a secret name. Okay, I'm not sure. I think this is incorrect. I think this is the wrong pat. So I'm going to go look and generate a pat on my account, because I'm pretty sure this format doesn't line up. No, neither. Microsoft, I want that account, pretty please. API keys. Let's see. Create testing. Boom. Package owner me. Expires. Sure. Create. Glob pattern. I'll delete this here in a minute so it doesn't matter. Okay, so I would like to look at this, and I'd like to look at it not in front of everybody for the moment. Actually, that does match what I would expect. So the question is, so this failed on that particular one, but I'm wondering if I change up which package it's pointed at, if that would make any difference. Like, I wonder if, because there's multiple possibilities. Let's just start with this. This key looks like it's probably correct. So I am going to do this over here, and I'm going to go update that pat real quick in the secret. I guess maybe I should check, because this is an org secret, not let me just confirm. Update. Let me just save changes. Okay, and we are going to kick off one more run of this. So with the updated pat, let's take a look and see if that makes any difference. I don't know if it's going to. Okay. Okay, so I want to see if I get the same error there, because there are a few options. One, I have the wrong token. Could be. I don't have permission to gen them, so it's plausible that I just don't have access. A possibility. The other possibility is, so I could have the wrong token. The token, which that would also handle the expired case, I guess. It could be that when the token was generated, there wasn't an appropriate scope generated for it, which is also possible. Though typically when your stuff expires, typically all you do is just go in and click the regen button and get a new token. So it shouldn't be happening. Shouldn't be, but we're gonna try. Should probably rename that other one from setup.net to setup.net 5 or similar. That's actually a good set of changes. Setup.net 5. Actually, we can do 5x here. Same with this. Do 5x. Those are good changes. Like those. The other thing, if the scopes were incorrect, I could try publishing different Nugets in here. I suppose I could also just edit the build Nugets PS1, and that would also do effectively the same thing. Because you can see it's building multiple ones here. Because it built material design colors, material design themes, and apps. Ah, it worked. So the secret on GitHub just wasn't updated or had the wrong value. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay, now the next thing, this is excellent. Okay, finally, we are publishing Nuget packages. So I am a little worried that the version I just published, yeah, so this is going to be, because the build numbers previously were at 2600 and the ones on GitHub are now starting at a much lower number, they are not going to line up. So the simplest fix for this, do I turn tests back on? I think I do. Turn tests back on. All we're going to do is I'm going to do this. Rev the minor, we skip a version, and we jump up. And I think what I should be able to do is commit this and wait. And this should work just fine. And we're just going to check this straight into master. So, because it is late for me and I have more to do tonight. So, updating GitHub Actions. Okay, so that'll go there. Cowboy that straight into master. That should work. And in the morning when I wake up, what I should see is a build and release for an updated Nuget package. Which would be great. It's what we are going for. Perfect. Excellent. That makes me much happier. So, and then this guy, pull request verification triggered because a merge into master occurred. This is exactly what I want. So it'll do a build, pre-pull request, post-pull request, just as a validation step to make sure everything's kosher. And then nightly, it will kick off a Nuget package, which will just work. Mwah. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. That is what I was hoping for. And I think with that, I am probably going to sign out for the night. So I think what I'm going to say is thank you for coming. Happy coding. I'll see everyone next time.